Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Greg from Legacy Media here to show you today the Rainex HeadLight Restore Kit. Now, probably maybe you guys are going to see this and say, it's one of those restore kits that I wipe and it doesn't work, doesn't do the job, it's a whole lot of bull. And then, well, let's go ahead and show you this secret trick on how you can make these work. There's this trick to these, all right? A buff wheel, that's it. You need a buff wheel. Smaller pad than this, don't use what I'm using. This is a Chicago buff wheel, and you are able to get headlights like these. This is faded. If you notice on this headlight, they're still yellowing. If I get this one more spot, they look really good. There's a few spots yellowing. It used to look like this. See how this is all yellowed out? I got it to look like this right here. See how better this headlight looks now? I'm actually able to see at night, not crash and die. This one, you notice the opposite side? Yellowed out, scratched up, faded. I'm gonna pull all the scratches out and make it look like this again. The process and how to restore a headlight. Now, just to clarify, this one has sun cracking damage, so it's like a 40-50% chance that we'll fully restore it. First and foremost, painter's tape as much as you can. The reason why I say so is because on the other side of my car, I ripped off some of the paint by the buff wheel letting it hit because I was being careless. If you're more careful than me, then you're fine, but if you're not careful as me, then go ahead and add as much painter's tape. So if you do go off the rails, you'll just mess up the painter's tape, but not your paint itself. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to paint prep. Make sure that little to no wax gets over onto the car, or whatever the stuff in this box is called. Well, I'll find the box, it's there. Once it gets on your paint, it's really annoying to take off. Anything has rubber trim, tape off as well. It's annoying to take off later. It's really, really annoying to take off later. And it'd be your best interest to tape that off as well. Feel like if you're gonna go over the paint or you're gonna go over the headlight and hit the paint, cover it up. Also get your grill as well, because if you don't get your grill and wax gets on there, it's very annoying to take off, or it'll permanently damage it. And I'm not responsible if you damage your car. You're trying to do this on your own. So usually when people buy these headlight restore kits, they do it without a buff wheel, and that's why you don't get the results that the photo shows. And if it's done with a buff wheel and it's done right, you're able to restore your headlights and you'll be one happy man. If you do it wrong, then you don't do it without the buff wheel, then you're not going to be a happy man. So first and foremost, we're going to wet sand it first. There's several steps to it. So this is the headlight restore. It's essentially just like I'm assuming it's just a compound. And what we're going to use the lubricant, which I used quite a lot of already. And then there's pads 1, 2, and 3. Follow the instructions on the box. I believe this one is pad 3. This is pad 1. I could be wrong. The 1 is already faded. So we'll get up close here. Spray it down. Sand it. So if you notice a bunch of stuff start coming off, that means your headlight's pretty filthy. We'll do the other side. There's some spots are hard to get to. If you feel like you can't get it with the buff wheel, then don't get it, because if you go at it with the buff wheel and you hit those spots and you mess it up, then you're in big trouble. If you can't hit here with the buff wheel, then don't hit it, or get a smaller pad, and it'll make your life a lot easier. So just go at it a bit more. Yeah, this sander piece is going bad. It's going out. So that means it's time for you to throw them away. And so that's how far I'm gonna go with that one. You won't notice any difference. If you have light damage, then you will notice a little difference. But if you have heavy damage like me, you won't notice much yet till you hit at it with the, let's just say, the Rainex compound, or whatever it's called. To me, it looks like a compound. So I'm gonna go at it more here. Continue sanding at it, get all the scratches out. Because I did accidentally scratch this while trying to restore it with sandpaper, except I used the wrong type of sandpaper. So hopefully with this, it will pull some of it out But yeah, there's cracks in it. I'm not gonna be able to pull all of it. So here's the third one. See, I'm already running out. Yeah, feels very, very rough. Now it looks better, feels smoother. Here's the magic part. You're gonna get your compound or this Rainex stuff here, what is called compound. Pouring out as much of it to the buff wheel. I'm an amateur, so don't think I'm a pro. I'm gonna spread it as much as I can over the headlight, and I'm gonna go at a speed of 15. Look at it now, just with going at it with the first pass, it's starting to shine a lot better. Still needs a lot more up here, needs a lot more down here, but noticeable difference already. But just clarifying, it is sun cracked. It was a cheap knockoff headlight for this car. The OEM one came out a lot better, honestly. But we're gonna go at it again. Heads up, don't stay in one spot. If you stay in one spot, you will burn the headlight, and I'm not responsible for that. You got to be constantly moving. If you look at it now, this headlight looks 10 times better. Just a heads up, it is sun damaged from cracks. That's not removable. It's damaged from the inside. But if you look from here and here, noticeable difference. Instant. So, just a little quick trick for you guys out there that want to restore your headlights, that don't want to buy new headlights, and who think that many of these products are like gimmicks. They kind of are, because the tip that, you know, the tool you're missing the most is the buff pad. The buff pad is what gives it that finishing look. This preps it, but if you try to use the compound on it, just the towel, you're gonna get nowhere. You gotta get a buff pad. They're cheap at Harbor Freight. You can buy them on Amazon, but I prefer the one from Harbor Freight. It's the Chicago Electric buff wheel. It's $50 here in California. Get this, definitely worth it. But please, I can't say it's enough to buy the pads online, because the pads from Harbor Freight are crazy expensive for what they are. So, I'm a mess, but this car will look great after I'm done. I'll put some after result photos of the headlights being done. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.